The Mad River, one of Ohio's finest canoeing and kayaking rivers with approximately 52 miles of clean, navigable, spring-fed water, is a paddler's paradise with numerous easy put-in and take-out locations. The northernmost put-in begins at Lions Park in West Liberty, but most choosing Lippincott Road as their starting location, as it is serviced by the local canoe livery, Birch Bark. Mad River Adventures, located just beyond the halfway point in Springfield, is also another option for canoe rentals. Both liveries offer tent camping for those looking for a multi-day float or wanting to through paddle the entire 52 miles. In this video, I will be showcasing my solo overnight paddle and campfire cooking on a 16-mile section on miles 21 through 37, dropping in at Eagle City Road near Springfield and ending my float at Spangler Road just north of Dayton. I will put links to my other section paddles on the Mad River in the description box below. Thanks for joining me on the beautiful Mad River. I've had a lot of people over the years ask me how I pack my kayak and what do I bring with me on a kayak camping trip. Backpack has my tent, my quilt, and my chair and a pillow. Cooler items. All my veggies for tonight's dinner, fresh from the farm. Frying pan, my frisbee cutting board, and don't really have a spatula, but I use these tongs, works good. Some water, drone, and electronics, extra camera, and more food. All right, we'll pack it up a little nicer before we get on the water. Let's get this thing in the cornfield. All right, now I got about a 15-minute drive to my takeout location on Spangler Road. And then I'm gonna catch an Uber, hopefully, back to Eagle City Road and get this adventure rolling. All right, I have arrived here to the Spangler Road, Mad River access, right down that little trail. And I was able to secure an Uber. He is like 2 minutes away, and he's gonna take me back up to Eagle City Road to begin this float. It's approximately 12 to 15 river miles, I can't remember. So I'm gonna do a couple miles tonight, find me a nice gravel sandbar along the river to camp out on and to cook my dinner, and then we'll finish up this lazy float tomorrow afternoon. I did read on one of these signs over here, I think it was this one, it says park closes at dark, so I'm assuming that means no overnight parking. So I am a little concerned about that. I have stayed in these parking lots before overnight, even though they say no overnight parking. What I do is I put a little note in my window, and I've never had a problem. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do or the best way to do it, but it has always worked for me. It says, on an overnight kayak float, we'll be back to my truck Sunday afternoon, July 23rd. All right, I just got dropped off by my Uber. There he goes. Let's get this kayak out of the corn and get on the water. Look how hidden that is. Everything's good to go. There's no way that could have been seen back in there. It is a hot one today. It's mid 80s. No rain in the forecast, thank goodness. Almost a clear blue sky. It's gonna be a perfect day to be on the water. All right, making our way across the Eagle City Bridge here at the Mad River. Beautiful. I'm walking over some of my heavier items, my cooler, all my produce, and my valuables that are in my dry bag. I'm gonna go set them over here somewhere. This is the Eagle City Road Mad River access. Pretty nice and a very easy access point to the water. Let's go check this out. This is a very easy put in. Someone's got a pretty massive boat down there. That looks fun. All right, I'm gonna set my stuff right here and go get my kayak. So it's currently 6 p.m. About an hour or two later than I wanted to be on the water. I thought I could be on the water by 5 or 5:30. But by the time you wait for an Uber, you know, and get everything shuttled back and forth, it always takes longer than you think. But it's 6 p.m. right now. We still got 3 hours of daylight basically, so I'm hoping to float about an hour down this river, start looking for a sandbar, a place to eat. Hopefully I don't end up by a busy, noisy highway tonight. Back through the little trail in the woods. This is where I wish I had my little wheels, my little dolly with me. You know, I could just about slide it across this guardrail. If we just had this wood all the way across, not those steel ones, I could drag it all the way across there and not even have to carry it. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's not the lightest thing in the world, but I've definitely done worse. Time for this overnight adventure to begin. The water is crystal clear and it is moving right here. All right, here we go. Ah, it feels so good to be on the water. Oh, it's like I can finally take my first deep breath of the day and actually relax. Today was brutal. Big day at the farmers markets. Our first big weekend with sweet corn. And that's always a big one. One of the top 3 busiest Saturdays of the entire year for me. So I'm glad I got that behind me. And now I have approximately 12 miles or so of beautiful Mad River ahead of me. I just remembered what I forgot. I swear, every time I do one of these impromptu trips, I forget something important. This one's pretty important, but I think I can make do. My tent stakes. If I was setting up in dirt or in the woods, it'd be no big deal, but I'm probably gonna be on a gravel sandbar like this right there. And I'm not gonna be able to whittle some sticks to get down into the gravel. So I'll probably have to wrap my tent string around some large rocks. We'll make it work one way or the other. Man, that sun is bright. Oh, there's a beautiful sandbar right there. Look at that. Nice and flat. We're only a half mile in. Hopefully I see some more of those. I'm seriously only a half mile in, and I've seen 5 suitable camping sandbars already since Eagle City Road. I got sucked in right there. Woo! That was a little sketchy. And it's quiet. There's no road traffic whatsoever. It's so tempting to stop and set up a camp right now and just chill out in my tent and have all evening to have a fire and cook. But I got to knock out some of these 12 miles or I'm not going to make it back to my truck by early afternoon. I don't want to be on the water all day tomorrow. I got things to do tomorrow night. So we're going to have to knock out at least 4, 5, 6 miles tonight, I'm guessing. St. Paris Pike. It looks like you could possibly put in here. There's a set of steps up there. Huh. Easy access by foot, but not by canoe or kayak. Well, as I'm floating along here, all alone in the peace and quiet of the beautiful Mad River, I was thinking about what makes the perfect river campsite for me, on the Mad River anyway. For me, it would be finding a perfect level sandbar. It has a level spot on top for my tent with a pile of driftwood right nearby. So I don't have to go tromping through the woods, fighting mosquitoes and deer flies and spider webs and poison ivy trying to find dry firewood. And of course, no traffic noise and maybe some light rapids nearby to help put me to sleep at night. Wow, this one has all the qualities of a great campsite. Fairly flat and a big pile of driftwood debris. I think we're gonna have to stop and check this one out. And the sound of rushing water right here. All right, I'm reluctantly leaving this spot. Those stones look miserable to sleep on, to be honest with you. I know I probably won't get much better than this. It does smell like sewage over there by the driftwood pile. Right, see if you can see it on camera there. Right there, it just stunk over there. I don't want to smell that all night. However, we're coming into Springfield and Route 40, then 41, and then we're going to be next to I-70, Route 4. We got a lot of noise coming up, and 68. Hopefully this wasn't a big mistake. But I'm only 2 miles in. I gotta go a couple more miles. It's quite the setup. Wow. How's it going, guys? It's quite the campsite. Looks fun. Coming up on the Route 40 overpass here in Springfield. And right up ahead there to the right, I did a rope swing back in 2018 during our Mad River through paddle. And I have only been beyond this spot one time. So it's going to seem fairly new to me today. I see that the rope swing is still here. It's not very fun. Wow, just look at that sunshine. That is beautiful. It's perfect temps out right now. Pretty low humidity too. I've noticed the water is getting slower, a little wider, a little deeper as we are entering Springfield. And you know, the traffic noise is not near as bad as I thought it would be. If you have a little water noise like what we have come up ahead here, it'll drown it out pretty good. Man, this is a beautiful spot, really deep. Looks like it's about 6 or 7 feet. All right, we got this little set of rapids right here, and it does not look deep enough. I'm not sure what line to take. I think I'm gonna drag no matter which way I go. Shoot. All right, let's give it a shot. Maybe we'll get through. We made it through. Hung up on a couple rocks, but it wasn't too bad. I'm sure you can hear the traffic noise right there. I mean, we're literally 100 feet away from US Route 68. Right over the bank there. Getting ready to cross under US Route 68 for the first time. I believe the river loops around to the right up here and we'll cross under it again. All right, currently 4 miles in. It is 7:30 and I'm less than a half hour away from needing to find a place to camp. If it gets any later than that, I'm gonna run out daylight to make my dinner, start a fire and chop up all my vegetables and cook dinner. And part of me just wants to set up my tent and go to sleep. I am bushed. But we're coming up on Route 40 right here. It is noisier than all get out. We got 68 right there, Route 40 right here, so we obviously have to go for another 20 or 30 minutes to get away from all this. So I believe that right there, we just passed, right up there is Buck Creek. It flows into the Mad River from Buck Creek State Park. And I've always wanted to run that little section between the reservoir and Mad River. I think it's like 7 or 8 miles. If you have done that section or know of anybody that has, or know whether it is completely passable with a kayak or canoe, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to find out some information about that section so I can maybe run it here later this summer. Well, that's cool. There must be a little access road all the way down to the river. I don't know if you can hear that train behind me or not. Wow, that is loud. But we're in a beautifully wooded section right now, so if I can find a good spot, I'm ready for setting up camp. I just found a little sandbar back there, and I walked up in the woods, and it was just roly-poly and lumpy. Not very suitable for setting up a tent. So now I hear sirens too in the background, so it's gonna be a noisy area, but it's heavily wooded. I really like it in here. If I can just find a little gravel spot for my tent, we're setting up camp. You know, today I could have very easily put in at Lions Park in West Liberty at the beginning, or at Lippincott Road, where most people begin their float on the Mad River, and had a lot more opportunities for quiet and peacefulness and probably more sandbars to camp on. But I've done that section so many times over the years. I'm kind of like section paddling the Mad River again. So that's why I wanted to come further south. Next time I might go from Spangler to Deeds Park and finish the whole thing up again. Yeah, I think I will do that. But yeah, even though it's noisy down here and the water's not quite as fast and clean, I was ready for a new section of the Mad River. It's still pretty. So I was thinking about an idea for another Mad River video. What would you think about me driving the entire Mad River and filming every takeout and put in from Lions Park to Deeds Park, and make a video solely dedicated to all the different put-ins and takeouts, where they're at, what they're named, and what they look like. There's not a video out there like that yet. I think that'd be pretty cool. And since it's my home river, and I've been on it many times, and I've got like 4 videos on the Mad River, if not 5, why not me? I think I might do that. Let me know down in the comments if that would be a video you would be interested in checking out, to learn more about all the different locations to put in and take out on the Mad River. You know, I hate to say it, but I think I might have to. It's almost desperation time. All right, I just found camp. It is not ideal for several reasons. I have to walk up this steep 8-foot dirty, muddy bank. So no gravel sandbar for me tonight. I hear gunshots. I hear highway, but it's really not that bad. I'm at the wastewater treatment plant. Yes, I know I'm going to be trespassing. I'm going to set up right on the edge of the grass. It's just to get a good night's sleep and then right back on the water tomorrow. I'm kind of out of options at this point. I'm getting ready to go back under 68 and then more freeway, Route 70, I-70, Route 4. So it's 8 o'clock. I'm ready to call it quits so I can get my tent set up and eat some dinner before dark. So I might not be starting a fire. Let me show you what this looks like up here. And there's a little special surprise that comes with this spot I found. Wait till you see this. Oh, that's not how I wanted to start the night. Ugh. Dang it. At least I didn't fall all the way in. Yeah, now I wish I had my rope. Several of you have told me in the past to attach a rope and a carabiner to my kayak, and I've never done it. This would be a good time to have it. Look at this mowed grass. All right, I realize many of you watching this right now are like, why is Jason Wish trespassing on private property to camp? I do not condone this whatsoever. This is not ideal. This is not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to end up being on the water at dark. I didn't want to end up being underneath a freaking freeway at dark. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. It's Saturday night. The water treatment plant is closed. There's no way, no matter where I chose to camp tonight, there's probably no way that I could contact a property owner or a business to find out if it's okay to stay the night and set up camp on their property. It's gonna be nice to set up my tent, but I don't feel right about doing this. And I know a lot of my followers on YouTube are seeing this right now thinking, what the heck am I doing? You know, this is called stealth camping. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to get by. And it's my fault for not being more prepared by planning ahead. I should have known that by mile 5.3, which is where I'm at, it was gonna be getting dark on me and I was gonna be right near all these freeways. Sometimes I take a chance and do a last minute trip hoping that it's gonna work out. Tonight, it didn't work out how I planned. So, I'm gonna leave no trace, which means when I leave here, no one's gonna know that I camped here. I'm gonna leave it in the same or better condition before I came. So, all my trash is gonna be packed out, and you know, it's probably not a wise idea to start a fire tonight. So I may have to cook all my vegetables over the fire tomorrow night. That stinks because I'm hungry and everything I have needs to be cooked over fire. I do have my stove, so you know, maybe I can cook something over the stove to get by the night. But this is where I'm at. It's 8:30. It's gonna be getting dark here in less than an hour, so unfortunately this is camp tonight. We're gonna make it work. All right, right here is where I just pulled up my kayak, and I'll show you this little surprise I was telling you about. I dragged my kayak about 60 or 70 feet to a picnic table. What are the chances? So I'm gonna set my tent up right here in the grass. I got myself a picnic table tonight, and you know, got some good firewood. I could make a little fire here and just completely put it out and cover up the ashes tomorrow morning. But I don't know, maybe I won't start a fire tonight because it's probably the right thing to do. Let me show you this water treatment plant up over this hill here. So obviously it's, you know, Saturday night, everything's closed down. There's probably no one even around. The closest road is, I think it's Route 41 over there, or Route 40. Gosh, I always get them mixed up. 41's first, so Route 40. And then I can hear 68 over here. The river curves around and goes back underneath 68. All right, I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna get the tent set up. Maybe just cook on my stove tonight and get some sleep. And then tomorrow for lunch is when we're gonna chop up and cook my delicious farm fresh vegetable fajitas with my homemade special sauce. Stay tuned. Well, at least I got some good appetizers. Pico de gallo, salsa. Well, that was easy. No tent stakes, no problem. Just broke me off some honeysuckle branches. I'll use 2 of these big stout ones for the main poles, and then these 4 little ones for the corners. The old trusty, what is this thing? Not the Nemo. Jeez, I can't remember. The old trusty X-Lite with the Nemo pump sack. Love this thing. Yeah, I could use my Nylaflume bag like Frozen does, but after seeing how much his dad struggled with it on the Virginia Triple Crown, I'll just bring the Nemo pump sack. right, camp's all ready for tonight. Well, unfortunately, dinner is not too exciting tonight. Instead of big bag of probably 8 different vegetables homegrown on our farm, it's gonna be boring, homemade, freeze-dried chili soup. All right, we just about have a boil right now. And I want to save my gas because I'm almost out and I want to have coffee for breakfast. All right, I have no idea how much water it's going to take for this chili. Put it all in. Let's see how that turns out. All right, get it all sealed up and let it rehydrate for a little while. Drop it down inside this little koozie pot. Help insulate it a little bit. All right, here it goes. Freeze-dried chili. It's my wife's homemade chili, and it was freeze-dried on my brother's freeze dryer. He freeze dries a lot of candy. He has a candy business, freeze-dried candy business. But obviously, you can do backpacking food all the same. It tastes stale. I mean, it didn't even smell right before I poured the water in. I mean, it's got a lot of spice and zing, just like when it's fresh, but man, it looks like, I don't know if you can see that, it's getting dark out. It looks like puke, and it tastes stale. Something just tastes off with it. Well, it's gonna have to do because it's getting dark. I'm not gonna start a fire. I'm too tired to cook anything else. And I'm ready for bed. I'll see you tomorrow morning for day 2 on the Mad River. Good morning. Once again, it's gonna be another crappy cup of coffee, because I haven't had a chance to go shopping for anything else. So it's this Folgers instant coffee crystals for breakfast this morning. Well, for coffee. For breakfast, it's gonna be eggs and potatoes over the fire. I just have to decide if I'm gonna do it here or head on down river to a sandbar. My cutting board today is an old Frisbee. It's perfect. Keeps everything contained inside and protects my knife blade. All right, some fresh bell pepper in there. Some jalapeno for some spice. And some fresh candy onion, just pulled from the ground. There's breakfast, minus the 3 eggs. And to help saute this all up, we're going to use about 1/3 of a stick. Oh man, that's fantastic. I can taste the jalapeno in there. Just the right amount of spice. It's currently 8:15. It's gonna be another beautiful day. I am so ready to get back on the water. here we go. Let's see if we can get down this 8-foot bank without slipping and falling in the water. It was actually a lot easier than taking it uphill. Here we go, off on day 2 for my section paddle of the Mad River. We are quickly approaching US Route 68, right up ahead here around the turn. That's the noisy highway I could hear all night. But it really wasn't that bad. It actually turned out to be a fairly nice spot to camp. Having grass to set up on and having that picnic table, that was great. You know, I feel better about stealth camping illegally on a piece of city property versus a homeowner's private property. I would really try to avoid that at all costs. But this wasn't bad. It all worked out. It's another gorgeous day back on the water. We got about 7 miles to my takeout at Spangler Road. And here we have some delicious reclamation water exiting into the Mad River. Yummy! Look at this beautiful sandbar I missed out on. Oh, it's perfect. A half mile beyond US Route 68, and it's quiet, fairly quiet here. Doggone it. All I had to do was continue on just a bit further. It would have been a perfect spot. And a little safer probably than the spot I chose. But it didn't have a picnic table. This is so tranquil. Almost perfect. Other than the helicopter and airplane I hear off in the distance and the semi-tires on the rumble strip. A very slow, stagnant section, and deep. I noticed the water is getting dirtier, deeper, slower, but it's still beautiful. Oh, looks like we're gonna drag here. Pretty shallow. Maybe not. We'll see. Oh, I got soaked on that one. This is a pretty nice quiet area with a little sandbar that would work, you know, during low water. Obviously high water, that would be underwater. And you won't believe what just happened. If I just would have turned my camera on when I heard it start to fall. There's a log crossing the river about 80 yards in front of me. That just fell. It was a thunderous crash. It was unbelievable. I don't know what made it fall. It's not like there's any wind or inclement weather whatsoever. It was just, it's time to go, I guess. I am still getting waves from that tree falling. Wow. You wouldn't think a tree just falling in the river like that would do much, but it did. It was an incredibly loud crash. I'm trying to see where it fell from up there on the bank. Huh. Oh, there it is. It's up there pretty good. Wow. It's like 15 feet away from the stump. And here's the top of the tree. all in pieces floating in front of me. And the rest of the tree. Man, that was a big one. Broke into a lot of pieces. So I'm coming up on this little island here. I know it doesn't really look like an island, but there's a little section of Mad River that goes that way that's all, you know, buried in debris. And then the main part of the river goes around to the river right of this island. Just passing Mad River Adventures canoe livery. Crossing underneath Route 4. I sure wish there was more water like this. It's been pretty slow, but this is awesome. Here's a nice gravel sandbar. I think when I get out and stretch the old legs, maybe even start a fire and cook my lunch here. Well, I found myself a nice gravel bar, pulled the kayak up here, got my chair out, taking a load off, and I'm gonna sit and relax a while because I only have like 3 miles left to Spangler Road. I think I'm gonna get a fire started and cook up my lunch right here on this gravel bar. It's a beautiful spot. I don't know if I'd want to camp here just because the stones are so big. It'd be hard to get a nice, comfortable place to lay down with all these stones. There might be a place back in there to hang the hammock. I haven't really investigated too much yet. But I can hear a little bit of traffic noise from I-70, but it's really not that bad. Check out this ready-made tinder bundle. It's perfect. It's got all kinds of little kindling in it, driftwood. We're gonna light that thing up, and that's where our fire is gonna be. So for this trip, I forgot fire starter. And this is a compressed towelette. It doesn't burn that well, but if you put some chapstick on it, it does. So I'm gonna light it and put it right down in here, and we'll see if we can get this little ready-made tinder bundle to flame up. All right, on the menu for lunch, of course, sweet corn. Eggplant, my onion that I had for breakfast. Bell pepper, zucchini, jalapeno, some garlic scapes, green beans, and a tomato, and some pre-grilled chicken for some protein to go with the vegetables. Garlic ramps, I have found it easier to just snap little bits off by hand rather than trying to cut them. This will add a spicy, garlicky addition to my stir fry. Just put a chunk in like that. Just cut it in little cubes, kind of like a potato. What the heck? My knife just broke? Are you kidding me? What the heck is this? How does my knife break? Fortunately, I got my little backup Leatherman squirt. It's not gonna be very fun though. And some more candy onion. This is gonna be a real pain in the butt to cut with a squirt. Green beans take a little longer to cook, but we're going to try cooking it all together. I'm just going to break these up into little manageable chunks, and we'll add it into the stir fry and see what happens. They might end up being a little chewy and tough, but that's all right. And now for the best part. Fresh homegrown sweet corn. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. Now, sweet corn, you don't want to add until your stir fry is almost done, because it only takes a minute to cook the corn in the stir fry. The kernels look pretty full, and that's the way super sweet varieties are supposed to look. If their kernels aren't completely full like that, they don't have all their sugars. So this is when it's at its best flavor, and it's still very tender. It's just not tough or chewy whatsoever. All right, now let's see what this Leatherman squirt's made of. Can it cut corn off the cob? Yeah, not too bad. All right, put some butter in there. It's time to get this stuff cooking. All right, I'm currently sauteing all my vegetables over the fire. We still have to add the sweet corn, but we're gonna do that at the very end. And we're having stir-fried vegetable fajitas. So I got a couple wraps here, some sour cream, cheddar cheese. We'll add some chicken here near the end. Right before it's done, to add some flavor, we're gonna throw in my special sauce that I do at home when I have vegetable stir-fry for my wife and I. It's really good, really simple. Looking pretty good. And the chicken. I don't think we need it all. Now to add my special sauce. It's 3 ingredients. I usually microwave it together before I pour it into the stir fry. It's butter, brown sugar, and mustard. I know that might not sound like a great combination, but believe me, it is amazing. So since I don't have a microwave here or an extra place to kind of cook these all together, I'm just going to sprinkle them into the pot and hope it works. All right, I added some more butter. It's starting to get a little dry in the bottom of the skillet. Just about done. Sprinkle some brown sugar in there. That's probably plenty. Some mustard. Now we're going to stir that all together. All right, I'm just going to saute that up a little bit longer to kind of caramelize the brown sugar I put in there, and then it'll be good to go. All right, let's try these fajitas out and see how they turned out. That is so good. Perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. Definitely hits the spot for lunch today on the Mad River. And we're off to finish up this paddle. Just a few more miles to Spangler Road. And boy, were those good fajitas. I am stuffed. And there was enough left over for another fajita. So I put it in one of my Ziploc bags and I'll take it home and have it for lunch one day. But that was a good stop. Perfect little gravel bar, perfect little fire. Everything went according to plan. And this weather, just outstanding. It's above 80 degrees now, I can tell. It is hot. So beautiful, beautiful weather to be out on a river. Really enjoyed myself today. Crossing under Spangler Road. Well, what do we have here? Our first official river blockade. Yeah, I don't see a way through this one. This is a little different looking section and very breezy all of a sudden. 20-mile-an-hour winds. Pretty nice camping gravel bar right before Spangler. I'm less than a half mile away from Spangler right now. This is a big one. Lots of options and wood. All right, I have arrived to Spangler Road. Now if we can just find a good place to take out. I remember it being a little muddy and tricky to get up the bank. Now if you continue on under the bridge about 150 yards around the turn to the right, there's a pretty epic rope swing. The best rope swing on Mad River by far. I'll throw a little clip up right now of me on that rope swing back in 2019, I believe. Alrighty folks, this concludes my overnight paddle on the Mad River from Eagle City Road to Spangler Road. I had a great time and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you have any questions or comments about the Mad River, just drop them down below in the comment section and I will do my very best to answer those questions. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it and I will see you again real soon on the next kayaking adventure.